The House of Hades is the fourth book in the Heroes of Olympus series, and I think the main difference with this one is that we have 7 main characters that have been sort of being drawn through the other books in the series, and now for the first time they're all together, they all have their own points of view, and they're all sort of reacting in their own way to this quest that they're on. But more than that, it's really about Percy and Annabeth, who are my main 2 characters, and at the end of the last book they were thrown into a very, very difficult situation, and it's really about how do they get out and can they survive the situation they've been thrown in. After the House of Hades, there'll be one more that'll wrap up the second version of Percy Jackson's world that I've created, and at that point I'm going to move on to Norse mythology. The Norse myths are something that I've loved since I was a kid, ever since I was 12 years old and I discovered the Lord of the Rings. I had a great English teacher who said, hey, if you like the Lord of the Rings, you should try the Norse myths, because that's where Lord of the Rings came from. I always loved the stories. I love Odin, Loki, Thor, but it's been percolating in the back of my mind for decades. I really haven't found, until now, a way that I want to approach it. I can't tell you too much about what that's going to be, but suffice to say, I have a way of writing that works for me, taking the ancient stories, making them happen today with a lot of irreverence, with a lot of humor and action, and try to appeal to the reluctant readers. So it's safe to say I'll take the Norse myths the same way. You know, looking at the myths and trying to figure out how to present them for a young audience is always a challenge, whether it's you know, the romantic content or whether it's the violence. I think it can be done, and a lot of what I do with that is I just sort of rely on my own experience as a middle school teacher, and how would I have done it with my 6th, 7th, and 8th graders? How would I have presented this so it's interesting and you know, nail-biting, but it's not over the top. And it's just always a fine balance. I have to look at every myth individually and sort of decide, okay, how can I tell this story without going too much over the edge? I think myths are very helpful in a lot of ways for young readers. I mean, a lot of these heroes, the gods, they're grappling with things that are timeless. Jealousy, revenge, patriotism, love. I mean, all of these are very immortal human emotions, and I think that's why they resonate down through the ages. I think the book that made me want to be a writer is Lord of the Rings. I mean, it's, you know, it's the gold standard for fantasy. Really, when I was growing up, that was what you read. There wasn't a whole lot of fantasy out there, but the Lord of the Rings just really, for whatever reason, resonated with me. And, you know, like a lot of kids now write fan fiction of this, that, or the other thing. You know, that's pretty much everything I tried to write when I was young sounded like the Lord of the Rings.